Every single time I see a man and a woman, and the woman just had a child. So I would say, to be to be honest, it varies, but generally speaking, like the younger the child is, the more I know, like the more I'm sure that the man is like extremely abusive. And he probably didn't really start his abuse until after she became pregnant. But anytime I see like a couple and they're broken up and the baby is like an infant, she's pregnant, a year old, 2 years old, like that type of stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, that dude is fucking terrible. That dude is fucking terrible because women in those situations, most of the like, and this is just like human nature. This isn't like a knock on women at all. It's honestly totally understandable. It's a survival thing. But clearly, the more vulnerable a person is, the more willing they are to put up with stuff that they wouldn't be able, that they wouldn't put up with if they weren't so vulnerable. So a woman being pregnant and having a young child or young children puts her in an extremely vulnerable position. Extremely, like she is like very exposed. And yes, there's strong women who have like gotten through that and they've recovered and they didn't need a man. And yes, all of that stuff is true. I don't want to hear anybody projecting though. If like just because you know somebody that did that or you're somebody that did, like, I don't care. That's not what this is about. This is about the reality of things. And I completely understand a woman that is that vulnerable putting up with and tolerating things that she wouldn't normally put up with and that she wouldn't normally tolerate. Like that is pretty fucking obvious. But what I don't understand, what I won't accept are men being extremely abusive. Are men putting women through that? That's what I won't accept. That's what I won't be like, oh, I get it, or whatever the kid. That I have no interest in accepting that. And every single time, I swear, I have never, not in my lifetime, not in my experience, I have never, ever, ever come across a situation where a couple was together, they had small children, the woman was pregnant, they broke up, and it was the woman's fault. not one, not one time, not one time. I've never seen it. And almost every single fucking time the man, almost every single time the woman left the man, he was a monster. Like he was a maybe he wasn't physically abusing her, but man, oh man, he was a monster. She found out some lies, like some diabolical lies he told. She found out he had another family on the other side of town or in another state or whatever. She found out that he didn't have a job and he was faking like he was trying to get a job for the last 8 months or whatever. Just crazy shit. I've heard crazy stories because of how manipulative and how abusive men are. And it never ceases to amaze me how common this is, how often we see this. Like, if we're talking red flags, if we're talking red flags, that is by far like the biggest red flag for me, that I can think of. Like the most obvious thing in the world is, oh, like let me talk to a dude, right? And then, oh, like, oh, you have a child? Oh, yeah, I got a daughter, I got a son, whatever. Okay, how old are they? Oh, they're one. Oh, okay. So you married? No, which you don't have to be married. I'm not a marriage guy or whatever. I'm married, but I'm not like married before you carry on none of that goofy shit. But oh, you married? No, no, no. I'm not married. Oh, so you with the mother? Nah, we not together anymore. How old is the baby again? A year. And you're not with the mother? No. Okay, say less. I don't even need to ask him. I don't even need to ask him what happened. I've asked dudes what happened, but I'm saying I don't even need to. I already know what happened. Him, he happened. If you have a small child, as I'm saying, men, if you have a small child and you aren't with that woman, I know for a fucking fact you're a monster. I know for no doubt about it, you are diabolical.
Girl on TikTok with a list of reasons why women should stay single. And this is for her. If you're not her, you can scroll. But if you want to hear the tea, you can stay. Please add this to your list. I am 31 years old, mom of three, currently 9 weeks postpartum from my third child on unpaid maternity leave, going through a separation after 14 years because not only did he cheat the entire time we were together, but he cheated on me during my last pregnancy. So now I'm finally fed up and leaving. Of course, I have no financial means to leave at the moment. However, after yesterday, I was stressing about how I was going to get my youngest two in school so I can return to work on August 4th. He told me I should be a stay at home mom and just stay at home with them. Fast forward to less than 24 hours. Fast forward to less than 24 hours this morning, he told me that if I'm not going to be the type of woman that he needs, then I need to leave because it's making it hard for him to move on. Yeah, less than 24 hours after telling me that I should just stay home with the kids. He told me that if I'm not going to be the type of woman he needs, then I need to leave. Meaning, if I'm not going to have sex with him, if I'm taking this separation seriously and not having sex with him, then I gotta go. Knowing I have no financial means of stability at the moment because I am out of work, knowing that I have nowhere else to go, this man that I've been with for last 14 years of my life, the only man I've ever been in my life, told me that if I'm not going to be the type of woman he needs, I need to leave. Mind you, he cheated on me while I was pregnant. But if I'm not going to forgive him and let that go, then I gotta go. That's my day.
That's men. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. That's men. That's men. Yeah. Sadly, I mean, that's not shocking. No accountability. Doing the most egregious diabolical shit you can think of. Shifting blame onto the woman though. Gaslighting. Stereotypical shit. These be the same men that be crashing out talking about I'm crazy and I'm lying and I'm pandering because I be just highlighting how men act, but how men act behind closed doors. Because the thing about the thing about all of this stuff is, and I've talked about this before, but the reason that I share these stories so often is because men love to say that they don't know, that they have never seen this doesn't happen, it goes both ways, blah blah blah, all that stuff, right? So I go, okay, you believe that? Fine. Okay, not fine, but you know what I mean? Like I ain't about to argue with you no more because I'm talking to a brick wall. What I'm gonna do is every single fucking chance I get, I'm gonna show y'all exactly what's going on behind closed doors because these women are exposing it. The women are telling us exactly what's going on behind closed doors. So I'm gonna put it right in your fucking face. I'm gonna put it right in your face like a windshield. Like you gonna have to see this. And you ain't gonna be able to tell me, oh, I don't see that. Oh, no. It's right here. Look, it's right here. It's right here. This is what's going on. And then you gonna go to the comment section and you gonna read all the women in the comment section on videos that have, 10,000 comments, 5,000 comments, and you're gonna read over and over and over again women telling their story. Oh, I'm going through this right now. I have a similar testimony. This happened to my mom. Like I'm talking like first-hand account type shit. Like if it happened to their mama, that's a first-hand account because they the baby. And the baby is harmed too. So I'm gonna say that's a first-hand account. Oh, my ex did this to me. My baby daddy did this to me. Some guy, oh man, that's crazy. A dude raped me. And then like just story after story after story after story. Now you can sit here and say you don't believe it. You can do that. You can take the easy route and say, that's not true. They're embellishing, they're lying. I could do the same thing on a post from a man. But here's the thing: I go on those posts. I go on those stupid ass posts when men say that women are narcissists, are the real narcissists, and all of that stuff. And I read their comments. And guess what? They don't read the same. They don't read the same. It's not the same. It's not the same level of description. The stories aren't very similar and they're more vague. Like they never really get to the like what the woman actually did, right? Like I'm saying, so this woman this is pretty cut and dry. He been cheating on her the whole time. She finally got fed up. She is in a financial bind because, and this is another thing we talk about all the time on this channel, when women have children, they take a financial hit. The mothers are the only people, when people talk about men need to take accountability and responsibility, I'm sorry, women need to take accountability and responsibility for kids. Again, the only person who is guaranteed to take accountability for having a child is a woman. She is guaranteed. Listen to what I'm telling you. Women automatically, by default, take accountability for having children. Why? Because A, they physically fucking had the child. So that's the responsibility was them bearing the child, raising, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, bearing the child, growing the child inside their body, protecting the child. Like they already did a million times more than a man will ever fucking do. And that just happened in the first 9 months, right? In fucking 3 trimesters. You know what I'm saying? So they already won, quote unquote. They won that race. So I don't know what the fuck men be talking about just off the rip. But then the baby comes out and the women suffer. It's not like once the baby comes out, her suffering ends. The baby comes out and the woman suffers. She suffers physically, first and foremost. They're talking about 6 weeks to heal. That's just until you know, the stitches come out, so to speak. You know what I mean? That's 6 weeks. If you want to say that. But really and truly, it's no, the body ain't recovered yet. Them organs ain't settled back into place yet. You dig what I'm saying? Them bones ain't all the way healed up yet from being stretched. You know? So again, accountability. These are natural consequences to having a child that men don't take in. Well, they intentionally don't take into account, right? And then lastly, which this woman is hitting on fucking bullseye, the financial hit that women take from having kids. So now you have the natural consequences, like the physical consequences of having a child that only a woman bears. Now you add to that the socioeconomic, political, social, whatever accountability that women are forced to take when they don't even want to. Like a woman shouldn't have to take accountability for having a child financially. You dig what I'm saying? She shouldn't be punished for having a child when you guys are out here talking about how important it is for women to have children. The very men that are stripping women away of their rights to autonomy and go to school and get a paying job are the same men that are telling women they need to stay at home and have babies. See what I'm saying? So we created a system where women are punished for having children. They're the only ones taking accountability. And that is what she is going through right now. She also, by the way, side note, has to take accountability for the issues that the father of her child is creating. She didn't sign up for those problems. She didn't sign up for those problems. She met this man when she was 17 years old, if you do the math. She's 31. She's been with him for 14 years. She was a child when she met him. So for anybody judging her, he cheated. She was a child when she met him. I don't know how old he is, but let's assume they're the same age. Doesn't matter. She was a child when she met him. I am not about to sit here and pass judgment on this very young woman and be like, she should have did, could have, would have. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm so sick of that shit. I swear to God I am. That extreme accountability y'all be wanting only women to take, and even women do that shit sometimes too. We got to stop that. Like it don't make no fucking sense. It don't make no fucking sense. What you want to do? What did she do that's wrong? Who did she hurt? Who is she hurting right now? You know what I'm saying? Like you owe her kids. She not, because she in a fucking financial bind. So if she leaves them, she gonna hurt her kids. If she stay, she gonna hurt her kids. So it's a lose-lose. So you can't even say that. It's not an either-or thing where it's like if she stays, I'm sorry, if she leaves, her life gets better. No, if she leaves, one part of her life gets better, another part gets worse, which affects the other part. You know what I'm saying? Like she's in between a rock and a hard place at this point. That's what these are the things I feel like get ignored oftentimes in these conversations. How women are put in between a rock and a hard place, and we expect her to choose the hard place. And I'm like, what? And if she doesn't choose the hard place, then we're going to say, oh, she got to be held accountable and she should have known better. And well, you the one that lay in. You could have like, I don't have the patience for.
I'm trying so hard not to cry because I'm pissed off. Verbally told me on the phone and reiterated through text that if I'm not going to be the woman he needs me to be, then I can leave. As if I cheated or betrayed him. Mind you, I'm already stressing because I don't have a solid childcare. I don't have a solid form of childcare put together for my sons for when I go back to work. And his reply to that was, well, maybe that's a sign you should just stay home. That was yesterday. That was literally yesterday. His reply to that was, maybe you should just stay home. Maybe you should just stay home with them. That was less than 24 hours ago. And now this man is telling me if I'm not going to be the woman he needs me to be, then I have to get out because it's hard for him. For this man to tell me that 8 weeks postpartum when I'm on unpaid maternity leave, knowing I have nowhere else to go but my home, that I have to leave if I'm not going to be the woman he needs me to be because he's paying all the bills at the moment. That's what the fuck I'm dealing with. And I'm trying so hard to keep it together. And I'm trying so hard not to be that person. And then to reiterate it through text after I explained to you, you saying that was hurtful and unfair to me because of my position that I'm currently in. And then you reiterate it.
Exactly. Again, more proof. Men aren't protectors. We'll get into that later. But men aren't providers and men aren't protectors. They're not manipulators. They use it almost every single time. We, whatever. Put me in it. I don't give a fuck. I get so used to saying y'all because niggas is crazy. I ain't gonna even hold you. But anyways, men are not providers and men are not protectors. Period point fucking blank. More proof of that. More proof of that. Throw that in the throw that log in the fire too. And let's stoke that fire again and keep it burning. Keep that message going. But if you are peeping, this man cheated on her. This man cheated on her. She's sick of it. She's fed up. A day, she had the baby damn near yesterday, right? Like the baby just came out. Her third child, got 3 small children. Her third child. And he's gonna do the same thing that I could already tell where this is going. He is going to try to make her life extremely difficult so that she will just stay with him. That's what he's gonna do. That's why men love to be in the financial driver's seat, so to speak, so that they could dictate to a woman the terms in which a woman gets to be in his life. Because if she chooses not to, she's going to suffer greatly, immensely, financially. That's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. And he's playing these games. Oh, one day, oh, why don't you just stay at home and da 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 da. And then the next day, oh, if you can't push pull, pretty much tactic. If you can't be the person that I want you to be, i.e., let me fuck you when I want to, abuse you how I like to, and you just accept it, then I don't see us working out. And you're just gonna have to figure it out on your own. While she has 3 children. And this motherfucker, I wouldn't put it past him to get custody of the kids and then get a new girlfriend, move her in, and just so he don't have to pay nothing. Because he really clearly don't like this woman at all. Right?
Not only are men not providers, they typically withhold things. They're withholders. They always want to be known as the opposite of whatever they are because it comes from a deep place of insecurity and projection. But when you objectively look at their actions and you look at what they're actually quote unquote bringing to the table, aka providing, at best, it is usually a mediocre salary. As a woman, typically when you get married, you get nothing more other than that, because the man will withhold it from you for the rest of your life. At best, it will be used as bait on a string to keep you moving in whatever direction he wants to keep you moving. But most men withhold so many things from women, including expression of love. How many women do you know where it's like a big deal, a huge deal, whenever their husband says, I love you, or tells them you look pretty or something like that? That's withholding, by the way. A lot of men withhold emotional intelligence, right? They pretend like they don't know, or that they can't learn how to be an emotionally intelligent person, how to conduct yourself in an argument without shutting down, stonewalling, all of these things. They just would rather not do it, so they withhold that from you. They withhold emotional labor from you and from your family. A lot of times when dads are dealing with kids, they go straight to physical corporal punishment, or like yelling. Others get upset with that because they are trying to actually build relationships with their children, and that takes emotional intelligence. And so most men are literally withholding that from their entire family, and they know that there are tools out there like therapy, even just like journaling and shadow work. They know that those tools are out there. They just will not use them because they are withholding that from you, because it doesn't win them any patriarchy points. Not to mention the physical labor that they withhold, which you would think would be one of the very few things that they bring into relationships, but it turns out men withhold physical labor as well. So not only are the chores that men claim to provide to women less frequent and frankly less demanding, women oftentimes also have to nag their husbands into doing those chores, like mowing the lawn, or like fixing something, changing the oil in somebody's car. They say that they do these things, and they love to threaten women with, who's going to change your car oil? Well, who's going to do this? It's like, not you. Especially, a couple years into marriage, like they just let their foot off the gas. They're withholding that physical labor from you. Why? Because they can. And when they're not withholding something from you, they're weaponizing it, right? We've heard all of these terms: weaponize incompetence, weaponize emotional intelligence, weaponize therapy speak. When they're not withholding something from you, they will find a way to weaponize it against you and make your life worse in a way that you can't quite complain about. Women have had to coin terms like weaponized blank to explain the type of gaslighting, shitty behavior that men will do instead of just contributing to your life, instead of just doing it right, instead of just taking the time to learn to do something. They will take the time to do it in a shitty way so that you don't ask them to do it again. Provider where? What are you providing? And so in reality, what most men end up providing to women is single motherhood, loneliness, autoimmune diseases, psychological effects, CPTSD, and they provide children that they don't take care of. They provide a mediocre salary where you still have to clip coupons before you go grocery shopping, where you can't afford things for your kids, and he doesn't help at home either. They will provide you a house that's falling apart. They'll get mad when you call somebody else to fix it or to do the work that he's not willing to do, because it was never about that. He could always do the work. He just wanted you to be miserable. He wanted to withhold something from you, because that's how men exercise control. And that's why, for me, the patriarchy always goes back to hoarding resources. Men had to figure out a way to withhold something big enough from women to force women into relationships where they could further withhold from them and just take advantage of them and just extract from them. Because, so many times women will be like, oh, I broke up with my boyfriend, or I divorced my husband, and next thing you know, he's out here on Instagram posting his new girl, doing all of these things for her that he never did for me. And it's like, yeah, babe, that's because he withheld it from you. No, let's not blame it on, well, she was his dream girl and you weren't. It doesn't matter. They use this tactically. They weaponize this. Like I said, when they're not withholding, they're weaponizing. They're really just weaponizing their new woman against you. That's all that is. Using things that they have withheld from you in the past. When you really think about it, the provision is like a maybe 1 to 5% of what they do. The rest of how a man is going to treat you is going to be by withholding things from you. Skills he could have learned, things he could have said, love he could have shown, understanding that he could have learned to have, education, like educating himself on things. Most men, when they marry a woman, they don't expect forward progress after that on their part. They don't expect growth and change or any of that on their part. That's another thing that they withhold from you. They withhold their own growth and then blame you for it by saying, you knew I was like that when you married me. When really the point of life is to learn and grow. And that's something that they're not willing to do. And they do that shit at your expense, ladies.
And obviously, the reason why, I shared that clip was because it perfectly encapsulates exactly what this the other young lady is going through with her the father of her children. That's exactly what it is. He is withholding. He's not a provider. If he was a provider, he would provide. Providing doesn't come with strings attached. You know what I'm saying? Like I've talked about this many a times. I don't care what happens between my wife and I, outside of her like harming my children. You know what I mean? Or trying to like kill me or something. You know what I mean? Some really extreme behavior like that. Um, I will always provide for my wife and my kids. Like I don't care. I don't care what she does. I don't care if she's not the woman that I want her to be. I don't care if she turns into an asshole. Like I'm saying if she actually like I don't even do anything. Remove me from it. Let's say I don't do anything wrong. I'm still doing everything I need to do. And then all of a sudden she wakes up tomorrow and she's a completely different person and she's a jerk and da 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 da. Could be menopause. I don't fucking know. I'm not about to not provide for her. I'm not about to be on some like you're not the woman that I need, and if you can't be that, you need to get out of here. Like what the fuck? Absolutely not. But even if that were the case, hear me out. Even if that were the case, even if I were to be like, yeah, I'm leaving, then I would leave and I would still provide for her. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not about. I have a wife. I have children. I don't have I didn't do the religious vows. I'm not a religious man at all. But the way that I look at my marriage and my marriage, by the way, not your marriage or anybody else's marriage, but the way that I look at my marriage is I signed up to take care of that woman forever. There's really nothing, again, outside of some extreme behavior that would nullify that. Especially after she had our children. Like, yeah, like now that she sacrificed her body and her money and her time and her, I owe her. I hate her guts later on. Like, I don't care. None of that matters. Like, I owe her forever. Until I die. Like, that's the thing. That's what I signed up for. That's the whole like choose better and all of that shit. Like, you should have chosen to not be with that person in my mind, like with anybody. You don't, if you as a man aren't willing to do that for the woman that you're in a relationship with, after you guys get married and after you impregnate her, she has babies and all of that stuff. If you're not willing to take on that responsibility for life, pretty much under any circumstances, then you don't deserve a woman and you don't deserve to have your own children.